Alright guys, one of the biggest things I've been getting asked about is how do I tune this Exsence DC? So we're going to talk a little bit about it in this video. Let's get it. So let's kind of dive right into it. So I've had the pleasure of fishing this reel all summer long, and it has been a beauty and also a phenomenal reel to have. So let's talk about it again. So got a lot of requests to talk about how I set this up, and let's talk about internals. So the internals, let's pop that open, has 4 internal braking options, and then has 8 external. So it's a 4x8. It's got the DC, but the key thing that makes this difference from the Antares DC is the Exsence tune, and we're going to talk about that more in depth in the next video when I compare this to the Antares DC. But this is very similar in terms of how I set up my Antares. So it's got 4 internal and it's got 8 external. So it's got the braid setting, which is basically the least amount of brakes, all the way up to fluorocarbon, which is going to be the most amount of brakes there. And I have it set currently at N. That's where I really feel comfortable. And again, external, I have it set at 6. So I have it 4x6 right now, and that is where I can get the best casting distance while thumbing the reel. So I'm going to show you guys though how I dial it in if I got it fresh out of the box. And the way that I like to start by dialing this is to turn on my internal and external all the way to the max. So let's do that. So I'm going to turn on my floor, turn all the way to the fluoro. Then for my external, I'm going to turn all the way to max. Then I'm going to just test my tension. It's falling at a pretty good rate. Not too fast, but not too slow. You want that to just kind of moderately fall. And let's get a cast. Okay, perfect. And so obviously I was probably shorted probably about 10 to 15, maybe even 20 yards there. And that's because I have my brake settings on high. So that is obviously going to be way too much. So let's turn it down halfway. And I have it on the external, turned down halfway. I have it on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So internal is full all the way, external 5. And you can see it went a little bit further. But the key thing that I think you guys want to see is where do I need to be in order to get it where I don't have to thumb. So let's turn the brake up a little bit, just 1 notch, and let's see if that does the trick. Try it. There we go. Look at that, no fluff whatsoever. And that is where you can comfortably leave it without having a thumb, which is, I know, what everyone wants these days. But you do sacrifice a little bit of castability in terms of casting distance. So let's try that again. Awesome, no fluff whatsoever. That's beauty right there. But for me, that's not where I want to keep it, because of course I am going to be thumbing my reels as usual, and I'm going to want the maximum amount of casting distance. So I'm going to turn down my internal brakes back to N, which is where I like it, and on the external I can keep it at 6. That's perfect. And let's take a look. I could probably get about an extra 10, maybe 15 yards on that cast compared to where I was on the last setting, and I was thumbing it too as well. So that's where I like to keep, that is where I like to keep my brake setting. Is there a fish right there? That was a fish. That's kind of weird. All right, let's try that again at where I like it to be for my brake setting. Oh, let me fix this real quick. All right. And that's where I can get it. Could probably cast it. That was probably about, like, I don't know, 40 to 50 yards right there, ballpark. And that's where I can cast comfortably without getting any kind of fluff, as long as I thumb it at the end. I think I can get a little bit further. Let's try it. think I can. Let's dial the external out a little bit. Let's see what we can do. Okay, yeah, pretty good. I got probably like an extra 5 to 6 yards on that actually. So, I mean, realistically, I could fish it just like this, internal at 3, external at 3 as well. But, you know, that's without any wind right now. And I kind of want to compensate for that, because sometimes if wind picks up, or if I'm forgetting I'm fishing in a windy point or something like that, I don't have to really worry about it. But that was, if it was a little windy, I think I would have probably got some line twist there in my spool. So comfortably, I like to be at internals setting N, and externally I like to be at 6. Okay. Beautiful. Beautiful, guys. And if you guys are wanting to see a full review on this, it is going to be coming up soon, and I'm going to have this compared against the Antares DC, and we're going to talk about both. So make sure you guys stay tuned and watch that video. Alright guys, that sums it up for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed a little how to tune, how I like to tune my Exsence DC. We'll see you guys in the next video.